Hey family, what's good? I feel like vibing for a minute. This morning it's about 8:30 here on a Tuesday morning, and just getting up, getting ready to face my day. And part of my new routine is to get up, have my coffee and my meds, and tune in and check my mail and then tune in. What I've been finding though is when I tune in, is depending on who I watch, they just vibe me up and I want to talk. So I started watching the Secretary of Funk, and he vibed me up because the first thing he showed was, shit, I didn't completely forgot about Kip Hanrahan. This is the only vinyl I have, Vertical's Currency, and I'm listening to it now because perfect for the morning. Sec, how did you know? This is the one where he's featuring Jack Bruce, formerly of Cream, and they do some of Jack Bruce's old material. This is taste. This is just where I need to be this morning. Thank you, Secretary. Some of the people on this album: Ignacio Berroa, Jack Bruce, Milton Cardona, Arto Lindsay, David Murray, Pete Scherer, Steve Swallow. You know, how can you go wrong, you know? So, thanks, Secretary, for getting me off on the good foot. I also would like to share something else musically that was cool last night. You know, I always give you lots of information whether you want it or not. But when I went to bed last night, I decided to pull something random to play as I fall asleep, which I do and then I don't do, you know. And haven't done it for a while. So I just grabbed the CD and I didn't look at it. I just put it on. And it starts to play and I don't recognize it because I have a lot of music that I bought over the years, a lot of CDs. I have a whole lot of CDs that I haven't really listened to thoroughly because I would buy them at closeouts and sidewalk sales and just get them in mass, you know. So I have like easily 6,000 plus CDs, and a lot of them I still need to explore. This is one of them. I don't remember ever hearing it. It kept waking me up. What is this? What is this? Wow, this is good, you know. I I didn't look at what it was until this morning. Wow, a gem. Reggie Workman, Cerebral Caverns. This just kept waking me up. It's just so good. You'll understand why when I tell you who's on here. So it's Reggie Workman, Cerebral Caverns. It's on the Postcards label, which I don't have any knowledge of. This was made in 1995, but he's got Jerry Allen, Al Foster, Julian Priester, and Sam Rivers. And frankly, you know what really kept catching my ears? Sam Rivers on the flute. I kept thinking, what is this? Who is this? And this is one of the wonderful things about collecting music and exploring music, is that you never know. I'll also tie this in with my retirement, that this is, again, as I lay there listening to it, it dawned on me again. This is one of the things that I had hoped for, is that I would not die before I would have time to just casually explore all this music that I've amassed. And that's partially been what's been behind, especially when I was buying CDs in masses. Like, the hope was that one day I'll have time to just sit around and check this stuff out, because that's what I like to do. And so last night I discovered another gem, and I know I've got many more, as well as probably some junk, but Cerebral Caverns by Reggie Workman. This Kip Hanrahan is just right on time this morning. So yeah, I'll add my voice to the choir. Secretary's talking about Kip Hanrahan. Check him out, people, yeah. It's just, I'm going to talk about music, okay? Jeff was over the other day, and the reason why we haven't made a joint video lately is because the few times that I've seen Jeff when he's been over, he stops by after work, and he's a wreck. He don't want to be making no videos. He's still in his scrubs. He's just been dealing with some of the most insufferable humans that you can imagine. unfortunately, the health system is being overburdened by a lot of people who have nothing now. And so consequently, civility is out the window, and people are acting like dogs in the hospital. He tells me some amazing stories. Of course, I know it from experience, you know, having just stepped away from that shit. So anyway, we were listening to music, got to talking about, somehow the band Suicide came up. I had their first album when it first came out because the legendary Wes Van Ness, someone that I met Jeff through, Wes turned me on to them. Frankie Teardrop, he played it for me in the dark at his apartment. Freaked my shit out. I had to have it immediately. Of course, so when I went through that Christian madness, and no offense to you Christians, but for me it was a curse. That fucking Christian madness, and I sold all those incredible records, and that was one of them. But I do have a CD that they made with Rico Classic in the 90s. What's the name of this? YB Blue. And we were listening to it. A couple tracks stood out. But the main thing that I noticed over and over about while listening to this record was, okay, the backing track starts, and then the vocals come in, and they seem completely unrelated. It's like somebody wrote a bunch of backing tracks, needed vocals. Oh, Alan Vega, let's see what he does with them. It ain't Suicide. Leastways, it's not classic Suicide, okay? There's a couple of tracks on here, okay, but Alan Vega sounds like he phoned that shit in, you know what I'm saying? And the first Suicide album, it's like, you want to go jump off a bridge, you know, after you hear that. You know, it changes you, okay, which I love about music. I love when music changes you. Okay. Yesterday, I took the time to listen to everything that Mr. Rompert sent me because I was just so tickled. And I love these singles. I love the Max Warner. The Max Warner is pop music. It's straight pop music, but this is what I like about what I consider pop prog music, is those unexpected chord changes that will creep in there. Matter of fact, that's what hit me about Genesis when I first heard them. And it's what I learned through classical music. What I like are unexpected turns melodically. I like that a lot. And I also like it when music hits a sweet spot, what I call sweet spots of harmoniousness and melodicism. That's why I use the word beauty. And so what I'm getting at is that the Max Warner, and let me show the album because I listened to one whole side of the album. Really appreciate these records from Marcel a whole lot. Just like I appreciate all of the music I get from you guys. This is real pop, but it's real good. It's not the sort of thing that I'll be playing a lot, but I recognize his voice right away. He was the drummer, as Marcel pointed out in his letter, but he also sang on several of their songs, and so his voice is instantly recognizable, and the arrangements, they keep it fresh. They kind of keep you guessing. It's like it's going along a typical pop trajectory, chorus, verse, chorus, and then the bridge. It's like, ooh, what's this? Love it. Love it. I'm going to talk about the other records because I listened to all of them. And a few more things. This is fantastic. This is art pop to the nth degree. I just heard from Sun Dodger saying that another one of their albums is its favorite, and I'll be looking for that. This is fantastic. The other reason, if some of you people didn't pick up on it in my video, why I was so knocked out by this, receiving this yesterday, was that morning I was talking about Super Sister. Robert Jan Stips, the leader and founder of Super Sister, is on this album. I got it on... That's just amazing to me that happened like that. Just made my day. The Exception also is killer. Love this. Now, you know what I like the most about this? I mean, I like the fact that I got the record, but what I've been doing a little bit when I can think of it through what I've learned in the vinyl community is I'll look up editions of records to see, what edition is this? And according to Discogs, Marcel sent me, there's the number, This isn't worth any money. It's just neat to me. This is the first pressing. I looked that number up. This has been reissued several times. This is the first number. Marcel, I'm still tripping. I'm still tripping. An Exception is great. The Exception is good. I mean, it's that, and it says this is their first album here, which came out in 1969. It's 1969. Look at this. It's in great shape. This is an original copy. They were inspired by the Nice. They saw the Nice and they took it. Let me see if I can just pull my other Exception albums to show you right quick. Yes. Yeah. So, actually, as it turns out, let me just make sure. Yeah, so now what I have here is I have, when I picked this up yesterday, I wasn't thinking, duh. This is Exception's first album. This is an original copy from, I believe, Holland. Yeah. Well, I've had it forever, but I have the American version. So I have two copies of this first album, but this is the original version and the US version, which I've had forever. And believe me, I'm happy to have both, and we'll keep both. The other one that I have by them, which is my favorite, is Beggar Julia's Time Trip. This is kind of a concept album, and this is really good. Real good. And then I have this one. It has a lot of sentimental value to me because I bought it while I was on tour in Europe. I found it in a shop in Germany for something like, you know, like less than $1. Exceptional Classics. And this is nice. It's a debossed, raised cover. The letters on the cover are raised. It's nice. This always reminds me of being on tour. I really loved Germany too, except for Bavaria. I've said that before. Motherfucking rednecks down in Bavaria reminded me of being back here in Nebraska or Oklahoma. Fucking picking any dumbass motherfuckers. Just a look. All it takes is a look. Believe me, I am sensitized to hate. All it takes is a look, a glance. I see y'all motherfuckers. So, Mr. Romper, thank you so much. And what else did he? I listened to everything. Oh yes, the Gruppo Sportivo. Back to '78. I knew that song, didn't realize it. Back to '78. This is fantastic. Again, clever pop. Not the sort of thing I listen to all the time, but clever is the right word. A modern band that reminds me of these guys is Architecture in Helsinki from Australia or New Zealand, wherever they're from. Excellent, 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 excellent. Okay. Now, yesterday I did go downtown just to kind of see how my records are doing in the stores. I have 5 records in the stores in Omaha currently. The Antiquarium has 2 that they're still there. Homer's bought 3. They haven't put them out yet. I know what they're up to. I know what they're up to. They're going to try to bank on my ass. They're going to wait till I sell out, then they're going to put them out. Only available here. All sold out worldwide. They're going to do it, folks. I know they are. I know that's how they operate. If you guys from Homer's are watching, because I know that sometimes you do, you know I ain't lying. But anyway, I took a look at the shops. There was nothing at Homer's. There was nothing at the Antiquarium. But my nose was buzzing. You know how you get that? It's like something's out here. And it was. So I bought 2 things. I'm really watching my pennies until I close on the house. I should be hearing from the motherfucking Let me just rant for 1 more minute, people. I hate the financial system. You know, it's like, man, they got us all like this. You know what I'm saying? And it's cruel. It's cruel. Anyway, I'm waiting for this hand to get with this hand so I can get my money, pay off my fucking mortgage, so I can move forward. That's where I'm at about money. Let me pay this house off. My mortgage, my biggest debt. I have no credit card debt, people. I paid off over $20,000, maybe closer to $30,000 of debt, credit card debt in my lifetime. I paid them bitches off. I don't have any debt hanging over my head except my fucking house. And the rest of it is maintenance, insurance, and bills. And I want to keep it like that, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm ranting because it's like I'm waiting for 2 weeks now for this paperwork to come together so I can pay the house off. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bitches. That's how I feel about it. Anyway, I'm pinching pennies, and I will be pinching pennies, you know, for the time being. And so my buying is really down. But I felt that there was something down in the shops. And there was. I bought 2 things, and both I'm very happy with. The first one is Sacrifice by Throbbing Gristle. Now, this is probably an unofficial release, but it's out through the cartel in UK. So the recording quality is okay. It's a live recording. But Throbbing Gristle, I'm back at a point now where this music, I love it. Might be time for me to jump back into a little bit of White House too. Maybe in the mood. That's super harsh. But Throbbing Gristle is I like this band, and I like that weird sickly sound that they make. So this was I found 2 things. This was number 1. My best find from yesterday was this 4-record set, Sandy Denny. It's a little bit beat. Who knows where the time goes? This is a 4-album set on Hannibal. And it has a lot of unreleased material on it, as well as some things from throughout her career. There's stuff from Fairport Convention, from Fotheringay. There's these, let's see, there's some live stuff on here. There's BBC stuff on here. This was compiled and produced by the people who know, Trevor Lucas and Joe Boyd. Joe Boyd was the man behind Which Season? He was behind Nick Drake and a lot of the greats. People, this was such a wonderful find. Now, it's not that I'm a huge listener of this stuff now, but Sandy Denny's voice is one of a kind. Her voice was so rich and beautiful. Enchanting. When I first heard her in Fairport Convention, I was enchanted by her voice. I was. It gives a track listing information. 4 records. $9.98. This was my score yesterday. Now, the guy that worked at the store told me the reason why it was marked down is because there's a scratch on side 6. Big deal. Because when I got home and played it, it plays. The scratch, it plays. So I didn't buy this to resell, you know. This was really nice. This was my find of the day yesterday. Last thing I'll talk about is in listening last night to music, I put on this compilation called Island of Sanity, music from New York City. And this is on the No Man's Land label. And this is fantastic. It's a bunch of different groups, but many of the artists are interchangeable. There's a list of the artists. But everyone is on here. John Zorn is on here. I mean, a lot of people behind the scenes working in these bands. This was awesome. Every cut was interesting. Every cut. I mean, you know, in the bands, you have everyone from Elliot Sharp to Fred Frith to John Zorn to, oh man, Rick Brown, Keiji Hano. This is excellent. And played the whole thing last night, all 4 sides. New music from New York City. This was excellent. Let me see, is that a... Yeah, look at that. Nice. in closing this, I'll say that I have enjoyed putting those slideshows up of old photos of my albums, because a couple things. One of the things that I find remarkable is all of these interesting records that I have, and the cutoff point is 2009. Those slides do not represent any records that I bought since 2009 because, and you know, I bought a ton. The variety, looking at my own records, you know, the variety, it's cool. I also see, looking at my records, I see myself. I see what it is, you know. I mean, I have a lot of interests, but, oh, I don't know where I was going to go with that. But here's what I wanted to say. The last slideshow I put up, I didn't use original music just to change it up. I didn't put who was in the background because I didn't want to be bothered with the copyright police. I thought to myself, if I don't announce who it is, this music is obscure. That computer's not going to catch it. And if there's an actual person watching and trying to catch the music, those dumbasses don't know shit about music. They don't know what this music is. So if you want to know what it is, the first thing I put on there is a cut by Chris Cutler and Lutz Glandian with the inimitable Dagmar Krause on vocals. The second cut is by the Japanese prog band Happy Family. Isn't that some tough shit? I'd love to find that on vinyl. I just have the CDs. And then the last long cut is by Universe Zero. And I show the cover in the slideshow. I don't know how to say it. But I'll probably do another slideshow, maybe today, maybe not. If you have any questions about the records, ask. The reason why I am not annotating the name of every record is because I'll be doing that all damn day. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Some of the records you can't tell what they are. But if you're interested, ask. That's what's fun. That would be fun, to start a conversation about something you're interested in. There's always more, and I always forget. Just thank you, everybody. Thanks for being my friend.